What's going on, friends and family? Nye here, aka Brother Jeffrey, and the host to the High Times podcast, Hawaii's newest podcast going down in Hawaii, locally made. Today, we have a very special guest, a very, very, very special guest. He drove all the way from Konosai just to be here with us tonight.
All the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Jeff Silva in the house.
Let's go.
I gotta give him the yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir. One more time.
yes,
Yes, sir. Brother Jeff.
Yes, sir.
What is going on, my man?
Glad to be here, brother.
Bro,
Glad to be
super
here.
glad to have you here. If nobody knows, but Jeff is one of the main reasons why we are the High Times podcast. He reached out to me. I just had this brilliant idea. I think it was like a few weeks ago, dude.
Yeah.
It was a few weeks ago. I had a brilliant idea to create this podcast and just do something different, you know, because I've been doing a lot of comedy and stuff, comedy commercials for businesses. And I was like, dude, I want something that we can kind of like do on the weekly, like do this on the weekly. And I posted something on Instagram and I was like, hey, looking for sponsors for a podcast if you want to be part of this podcast. So that's where Jeff stepped in and he's like, brah, let me get in on that. And now we're here, brah.
Yeah, and
Now
more
we're
than
here.
anything, I follow you. Your content is unreal. There's a need for this, and
Totally.
unless guys like you step up and actually, make stuff like this happen. There's so much raw talent over here just on the Big Island alone, and this is a good thing. So
Totally
again,
agree.
I'm super stoked, and I'm grateful to be here. I
Yes,
really am.
bro. Thank you. So Jeff is the owner of Ula Ula Fishing Company out in Konosai. We want to just thank our sponsors, Ula Ula Fishing Company, Nick Ani Construction, Ola Brew Company. We got Tigers Towing out in Oahu and Honors Brand as well. Shout out to Major League for the gear tonight. Big shout out to that. So Jeff, tell us a little bit about what. First of all, let's get to know you first. Who are you? Born and raised? What's your story?
So, real quick, I'm born and raised from the Big Island of Hawaii. I'm from South Kona, Minoli'i on the Big Island, over on the Saltwet side.
The sunny side, bro.
The
The dry side.
The dry side, the side, but yeah, I'm fortunate that I never called anywhere else my home. Of all the things that I've gotten to do, that I've been blessed with, most of my careers, I've been fortunate where it's been ocean based, but I got to travel a lot at a young age. Got to experience a lot of the world, see a lot of things, meet a lot of people. Barely made it out of high school, which kind of threw me into some of my other careers, and
That was all of us, bro.
all of us,
Barely made it out of high school.
which is really awesome to see something like this make it here, and,
Yeah.
and more than anything, I hope that it'll inspire an audience for you, because it's a needed necessity over here for the Big Island.
Totally.
All the places I've been, there's so much talent here, raw talent, that it goes unscathed.
It has to be uncovered.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the only way it's gonna happen is from brothers like you that
Appreciate
you've
that,
got a niche. Your niche is unreal. Just bringing humor to our culture and
Yeah.
having fun with it. That's what it's about.
Yeah,
Being
bro.
able to laugh.
Totally.
Doing stuff, and it's good. Waking up in the morning, grabbing your phone first thing as you see one brother on there. Wow, that's unreal, man.
Yeah,
So we don't learn to do things like this. We don't learn a lot about who we are until we actually become, older.
Definitely.
And that's where I'm at in life. Is I just turned 40 last week.
Ooh.
Fuck.
I'm coming out, bro.
Are
I'm
you?
fucking right
I'm
behind you.
scared to ask, bro. It's not that bad.
Guys, I'm 33 right now.
Oh God,
I'm 33
I don't
right
even
now.
feel sorry for you. I really don't, bro.
But I remember saying the same thing you were saying when I was 30, bro. You know what I'm saying? Looking
Yeah.
at my friends like, bro, you're only 22, bro.
yeah, it does
I mean,
fly though.
It does.
In
It does.
20s is like, how the hell you made it out of your 20s? I don't know. And then 30s, I got married at 30, had my first kid. The last 10 years has just been a blessing with my 3 children and my wife.
That's so awesome, bro.
Yeah, and now it's things. That's what you do in life. You grow older, you accept it, try to stay in the best shape that you can, learn from your mistakes.
I'm working on that.
We all are, bro. We all are.
Bro, the Big Island is not the place to be if you're trying to lose weight, bro.
Yeah, it's
There's so much meat here, bro.
there's a lot of meat,
I tried to go pescatarian,
I'll never know.
Yeah, it's hard, bro.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, and more than anything, it's not just a lot of meat; it's a lot of good meat. You know, in like anything, it's
Grass fed.
Bruh,
Bro,
best
this
in
meat.
the world.
Bro, I go to KTA and I'm like looking at the meat, and you can totally tell the difference between, you know, USDA and then our grass fed meat. You know, like mountain apple meat, and it's like super different.
Totally. And again, like we're so spoiled. We don't realize that.
Exactly.
You go a lot of other places, it's not like that.
No.
You know, you don't know where your meat comes from.
Totally.
You don't know where your produce. You don't know where your fish. You don't know where any of your. We have something over here we're very fortunate that we have a sustainability over here for farmers, cultivators, fishermen. That's just, we have some of the best products in the world.
And I think that Big Island is the core to that.
It
is
is.
the core to sustainability.
It is.
Out of all the islands,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, we lived in Oahu the longest time, but they don't have as nearly as much farming going on as the Big Island does. I mean, because the land mass is huge here.
Right.
The land mass is huge here, and just the atmosphere here is way different than Oahu too. You know.
Totally.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, like what you're saying too, like that's the biggest thing for us is when we were growing up here, we're all taught like skill sets, like how to live off the land.
Yeah,
Your you know, your family, if you're born and raised in Hawaii, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good burping.
Okay.
I never like burped too loud. I was like, oh,
You can go
trying to hold
project
him.
that
Yeah. Whoops.
It's all good, bro.
Behind the
I'll I got one coming out.
Yeah.
Pretty real soon.
Freaking Olo Brew, guys. Jeez, bro. Making that shit too bubbly. God.
But that's who we are, bro. Growing up, you know, like we learn skill sets on how to provide, but nobody really teaches us the business sense to that side.
Yeah.
And that's what to me the challenge is in this day and age, where the product is here, the people is here, the talent is here, the skill set's here.
Because local mindset, bro. Local mindset is like give.
Yeah.
You know, give,
Right.
give. But then there's that fine line between you need to like, okay, now you gotta provide for my family. Just kind of keep giving everybody.
Totally.
So that's where the business comes in. But totally, I understand. Like the local people, our thing is to give, bro. You know what I mean? We're not asking for anything back.
No.
Like we just couldn't kill one cow. My neighbor, give him some meat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But we could have sold him.
You
know
can.
what I mean?
But
Yeah.
the good thing about it, I think now is that now a lot of people are becoming akamai.
Yeah.
That's the only way that you can.
Yeah, of course.
We're trial and error. We found out, you kind of find out the hard way because nobody teaches us. You could be the greatest farmer. You can have the best cattle, the best produce. You can be the best fisherman. But in the end, if you're not a good businessman, if you don't actually know how to move your product or network or communicate or even just somewhat, you know, put yourself out there to where you can move your product.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how good it is.
Exactly.
Nobody knows, you know.
Exactly.
So that's what takes time, is really learning, building up the confidence, because that's another whole thing about you know, being confident in what you have to sell it so that you feel good about what you do.
Yeah.
You know?
True. Okay, a question I have for you.
Okay.
So when you first started commenting on my stuff, I went on your page and you have your approved page, right?
Yeah.
Approved page, and you have like 100-something thousand followers. Like, what is that? What is that from? Like, okay, where did you? Because I didn't know you at all, and a lot of people that are watching right now probably don't, or listening probably don't know who you are either. But can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my following, a lot of my following was based off of just accomplishments that I've done in my life. And then about 5 years ago, I got involved with a show, Deadliest Catch. And when I got involved with that show kind of slingshotted me into.
So you was a captain on?
So there
Deadliest Catch?
was two different sides. There was a show, Deadliest Catch, which is a crab-based show in Alaska, which has been running for going on close to 20 years now on Discovery.
That show is so crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And
We got to talk about that. Yeah, go ahead.
And then another show was a show, Deadliest Catch Bloodline, which was kind of a spin-off of Deadliest Catch, which kind of led, you know, Alaskan crabbers kind of coming over here and trying to find their way into the Hawaiian fishery.
And that's the like kind of like Wicked Tuna kind of style.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and so just the timing of how everything happened, it was something where, you know,
Wasn't there just one that just finished? Was there a Bloodline one that just
there
finished?
was a Bloodline. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay,
we did our last season here. And I'm not really too sure what's going to happen with the whole show for me personally.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in a transition phase in my life.
There's not a
right
lot we
now.
can say on here.
Yeah, we can. I mean,
Okay.
depends on how many beers you get inside.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
go
yeah.
from there.
Out of NDA. I don't
You
know.
know, as far as a following comes, when there's been a lot of shows that have come and gone throughout the years, you can take in, you know, stardom, fame. For me, I just felt that if a production was going to come here, I wanted them to see fishermen for who we were.
Okay.
I didn't want drama. I
Yeah.
didn't want it to be something that was made out to where it was a negative.
Skidded.
Right.
Yeah.
And what a lot of things for me was I was fishing a lot at the time.
Okay.
I felt that I was in a place where when the opportunity came to me, when they asked me if I wanted to be a part of it, if I passed on it, it was just going to go to the next guy.
Yeah.
And if that guy didn't want to do it, it was in a place where it wasn't going to go away. So I looked at it as an opportunity to where for everything that I worked for, I wanted people to know that there was a group of sustainable fishermen out here that mattered with culture, heritage, sustainability, and they've been doing it for a very long time. It was never about me.
Yeah.
It was always about us.
The people.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, like anything, when it's one person on camera, there's a lot of questions they get thrown to, why is it this one guy?
Yeah.
But in reality, like, you can only control so much of the story,
Yeah.
so much of the narrative. But what a lot of people don't know is for how big Deadliest Catch is, the platform of it is a world level. It's world level.
Definitely.
It's one of the biggest, longest, running reality shows on TV in the
The
history.
most action
Next
too. That
to
thing has
like
action.
The Voice, American Idol, shows like that. So
Yeah.
to be able to be a part of something like that, for me, it was something that I felt very blessed that the opportunity was given to me. And
Okay, so you were on Bloodline,
right.
and then you were were you on Deadliest Catch in Alaska as well?
I did. So I ended up doing a couple years of the fishing show out here. It was crazy. We filmed it during the pandemic, all through COVID. It was just, it was nuts. It was crazy because a lot of the things that we wanted to do, we ended up not being able to do because the fucking world shut down.
Yeah.
So how do you create an industry and show everything that we're doing when we don't even have a market?
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to really be able to build up, I'm very grateful from the bottom of my heart, the fishermen, all over the state,
Yeah.
communities that allowed us to do that.
So sick.
It was unreal. It was very moving. And the whole thing was, again, it was never about me. I wanted people, I felt, being born and raised in a small town in South Kona, Mili'i, this was a chance for me to let the world know, like, fishermen like us exist.
Yeah.
It's not about one guy.
It was your time to shine for your community.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
wanted people, and if I go back and look at it, the support that I get around the world, that is, to answer your question over this 5-minute answer,
Yeah.
is that my following is based on a world level platform.
That's so
because
awesome.
The world loves us, bro. They love our culture. It's we might struggle, as Hawaiians, sometimes waking up every day, seeing the same faces, doing the same things, but we have to remember that, the Mauna, all stuff like that, the movements that we do it's created out of aloha, it's created out of peace.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And people fall on the Hawaiian culture, for the movements that we're able to provide as people. They love us from all over the world.
Yeah,
So
me and Moko was just talking about that too. Definitely,
Yeah.
like Hawaii is an example of how the world should be.
Right.
Right.
And
And that's
they
right.
do. They look to us in a lot of ways.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? But we definitely have an upper hand in a way because it's our home. And every island has its own culture. It has its
Yes.
own community. So the Hawaii state is a big state, but it's actually really small when you break it down to every island.
Yes.
But again, I'm super grateful and I'm super blessed for the opportunities that I've had in my life, and dealing with a fishing fleet of, the most flack I probably get is when I throw it out there when I say that the best fishermen in the world are in Hawaii. I mean, guys around the world hate that.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. But it's the truth.
It is,
It is
bro.
the truth.
It is totally
and
the
I go to
truth.
bat for the boys as much as I possibly can.
Because those guys
it's
in the
truth,
mainland are
bro.
something else when it comes to
All over.
They-
But I mean, again, I've traveled I've been very lucky to travel to different fishing industries. The Alaskan fishery,
badass.
fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
And again, but we're all similar, where it's like you'd never believe how many soles, how many tongues are
A lot of them, man.
I mean down to the furthest depths of the Aleutian Islands, bro, down in Alaska. They're
That
down
is
there.
crazy.
And that was, I think, the coolest thing for me, is really opening my mind to the fishing industry, to where, like, when I came home and when I really decided to move forward with Ula Ula, it changed because all of a sudden it wasn't something where I wanted to be a fishing company. I wanted the world to know that, bro, fishermen like us exist.
Yeah.
We have the best product. We have the best fishermen.
Yeah,
We
totally.
just need to get caught up in times to where a lot of these guys learn how to be businessmen in the century that we're in now.
So sick, so sick. Okay, so we'll get into the Ula Ula company, the fishing company, just a bit. But tell me how it was in Alaska, bro. Because, okay, so this is the thing. So when I was in high school, I graduated high school and I started working for Hawaiian Fresh Seafood. Okay, I was working for Hawaiian Fresh Seafood, slanging fish to Disneyland, Cali, and stuff like that. I was on the sales team, and we had great fish. But I always wanted to be on the boat. Okay, so I looked up like Alaskan crabbing,
Right.
and I almost. Bro,
You almost did it.
I almost did it, bro.
Yeah.
6 months on, 6 months off. I was like, dude, let's do this. You know what I mean? And I can make money to last me the 6 months, you know?
Right.
And I was so down for it, bro. But
Right.
then I started watching, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, maybe I don't want to die.
I mean, the crazy thing about it is that if I look back at it and I was younger, I would probably commit to it a lot more. Experiencing Alaska firsthand, going up there, I mean, literally getting the call that I was going over the pandemic, like sitting here now looking at it, but it was one of the hardest times of my life just because our company was shut down. We shut down. We weren't moving fish. The world was shut down.
Yeah.
I'm a fisherman.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And as much as
No restaurants, no fish.
Right.
Pretty much, right?
basically, in a nutshell,
Yeah.
we kept our boat going because there were so many families in need where me and my wife decided, March 17th, 2020, I still remember that day. That's a special day in my heart because we decided that we were going to keep our boat going.
Perfect. Bro, that's all. I love that.
We're going to try to do something for people.
Yeah.
And I was very fortunate at the time that, my main clientele, Kona Brew, kept their door open just
Hey,
enough
shout out
for
Kona
me.
Brew, bro. Shout out
Shouts
Kona
out.
Brew.
I don't know what camera I'm on.
Right there, right there,
Oh,
right there.
Oh,
There you go.
down the barrel.
Yeah,
They
down
got
the
it.
barrel. Straight down the barrel. Shout out Kona Brew.
They kept the lights on for me, and like anything when you're on a show, there's things that bro, you're in media, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's things that make the cut, there's things that don't. And for me personally, like I wasn't the guy, I wasn't the star. I was more of the guy that was trying to make sure that when these guys came here, they felt welcome, they didn't slip off the wrong track. And when it came down to us keeping the lights on with Kona Brew, my main thing was we were gonna keep fishing. That was my main.
How was that
focus.
emotionally to hear that? Like,
Bro,
was it like did you a crying moment? Was it like
I mean, it was bad. It was brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was brutal. I mean, I'm being born and raised here, like we all
Yeah.
have, and watching everything getting taken away from you.
Craziness.
Places that you walked into that you were normally watching families close their restaurants down. Just the only way that I can put it is that I would never want to be in that position again.
No, bro.
And
the world is still not the same.
It's
bro.
not.
It's still trying to get back from bro.
I think like it's good we've like busted through this barrier in a way where we're trying to move forward. We're trying the best we can, and we've like forgotten about it. But I'll never forget certain times. You know what I mean? And like we did a lot. What we filmed and what I actually did, probably could have made an entire TV show off of what I was doing off camera.
So you were one of the main characters.
I was one of the main characters. So
You're making me want to go back and watch the whole thing again.
yeah,
bro.
I mean, it was an unreal experience, and the biggest thing again for me was the experiences that came along with it. And I like the challenge. I never was on camera before, but then all of a sudden people can say whatever they want to say about reality TV.
Yeah.
Every day you put your boat in the water, you're not staging being able to catch a fish. And when we go out, like when you work in TV, you're given a start date and a finish date, and everything in between needs to get done. There's no fucking ifs, ands, or buts.
No, yeah, totally.
So it's not like you're making a call out to the tuna studio and you're like, hey, I need you to bite today. I need to catch this many.
It's whatever's
and we're
happening.
gonna reenact everything.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do this. No, it's like no. So I love that pressure of going out knowing that I didn't know what was gonna happen.
It's
And
in the real, bro. It's in the real.
Is it? I don't know. I fucking I don't know what it was.
Yeah. Well,
But-
no, because a lot of productions nowadays, like I've never been in a production before, but being that our friend, my friends are our friends, you know,
Yeah,
our
mutual.
mutual,
And,
mutual
and a lot of the
friends.
guys that you work with, they worked on the show with us. You know,
Dude, before I moved to Big Island, I knew shit about cameras and shit.
Right.
I mean, I was getting into it myself, by myself, and trying to learn myself. But meeting these guys and just like knowing different things about cameras and about productions and like it trips me out, bro. And I'm trying to get into I just want to do something. I want to get my foot in to a production and just try it one day, you know?
Yeah,
So
I think more than anything, the niche that you got going right now is really good.
Yeah,
because
totally.
I mean, the best thing that I can say working, you know, in my short career working in TV is that the social media platform is happening.
it's where it's at, bro.
That's where it's at, and
Yeah.
you've got a really good niche,
Especially
with
over the
what you're doing.
pandemic, bro. The social media fucking boomed.
Right, because everybody lived through their TV and everybody lived through their
Phones.
because everybody was stuck.
And then when everything started opening back up, like, oh, what the fuck do we do?
Right.
Oh shit, what are we
Right.
doing?
And
it was a shock.
And if you were smart and you were able to strategically make moves, you know, during that time to where now, like that was how you're maybe able to get ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
Where like guys that were able to make content over the pandemic where it comes out now.
Because you know what? It's not easy to make content.
It's not
It's
easy
not,
to make
bro.
content
It's
at
not.
all.
You have to have, and I'm not bragging about it or anything like that, but you have to have this certain kind of personality, which is like an open personality to everything and everyone in order to be a social media, you know, influencer. There's a lot of influencers out there, but in order to do this right here,
Yeah.
in order to do this and do like commercials for restaurants and whatnot, like with something that I do, I had to figure out like this. That's like a part of my personality that I had to like tap into,
Right.
you know. And I don't know, yeah, that's what I think.
That's
it is.
crazy. Like that's crazy you're bringing that up. 'Cause
Yeah.
like I do want to ask you one question, but
Okay.
I'll save it.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
save
yeah.
it for the end.
Okay,
I
okay.
I get one.
Okay.
right? I get one.
It's always the one. Yeah, it's always the one that's the banger at the end of the show. That's
the
the banger,
banger,
at
bro.
the end of the show.
It's the
Okay.
banger.
So now another question is Ula Ula Fishing Company. When did it start? And what do you guys specialize in? Like what tell us about your company.
So Ula Ula was founded by myself back in 2010. And, you know, I was born and raised. I was very fortunate growing up, you know, where I did. And it was a community, small community based, you know, I was fortunate with my father because my father had a farm up Malka in South Kona. And we also had a home down in Mililii. So we had the best of both worlds to where he had an avocado coffee farm. And then he also had, you know, we were able to go down and fish.
Coffee's a big thing down the Kona side.
A lot of stuff is big thing now. Especially everything's big. Everything is big now. I feel like
the coffee farms are massive.
back
down
in
there.
the 80s and the 90s, it was trial and error. Like nobody knew what the fuck they were doing. You know what I mean? Like strains of avocados and
I went to
coffee.
when I was working for Deleuze, I was delivering to Kona Hills.
Yeah.
Kona Hills Coffee.
Yeah.
Craziness. It's like a whole world up there.
It's a world. And there's even, you know, not to get like, you know, you can get lost in this. We won't get lost in it.
Yeah.
But like you said, in the last 2 years, it's crazy to see some of the things that are actually happening because the Big Island's a big island.
Yeah.
And there's companies now that have very large companies have figured it out. Like, wow, okay, I can buy this land. It's out of sight, out of mind, and I can do this. It's
Totally.
fucking scary, bro.
Yeah, it is.
You know
It
what I
is.
mean?
It is.
But
It is.
you know, for me, the reason I just kind of went on that small rant is because I know what mainstreaming a company is.
Yeah.
And that was when I first started this brand back in 2010. I didn't know what it was. I was sick of wearing everybody else's stuff. I was sick of wearing your day-to-day surfing company. I was sick of wearing your day-to-day stuff because in the end, I don't know who these guys are. I don't know who it is. So
And they don't know you.
No.
And they don't know you.
They don't know you. And they don't care. They're just, it's just a name brand like anything else. So I
That is
told
so
myself,
true. Man, that's heavy.
Right?
That is heavy.
in a way.
Yeah.
But that was what I did for 7 years. I was flown all over the place surfing and repping, you know, surfing and repping.
Okay, wait, were you a pro surfer too?
I was a professional longboarder from 2000.
Like just the whole package, bro.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. I just, it was just
Pro
timing.
longboarder.
Bro.
Man,
Timing.
that's awesome. Okay.
Timing.
Okay. Continue. Sorry.
Where are we at?
Track. I
I'm
forget.
trying to figure out what eye to not look at because I
Yeah.
don't want somebody to come out and fucking yell at me right now. So.
Wearing people's brands. Yeah.
Wearing people's brands, I just decided that I was over it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it anymore. So I told myself I was getting back into fishing. I took a break for, we moved out of Millie when I was 15 years old. When we moved into town, my father became a lifeguard. That was actually how I really got into surfing. That was kind of like my outlet for
becoming a lifeguard.
Yeah, it was just kind of forgetting everything that we moved away from. I was bummed. I went to Konawaina. I went to Ho'okena, all my elementary. Moved from Konawaina to Kalaka'i. Was first class. When I graduated, had no fucking plan. Didn't know what I was going to do. That was a lifeguard. I was like, well, okay, well, you basically... you put me in the water. That's kind of the only skill set I had.
Yeah.
You go to your counselor. Everybody's filling out paperwork to go to college, and I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to college.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to do? I think I'm going to surf. Well, you can't do that. That's not a job. Well, I think I'm going to fish. Well, you can't do that. That's not a job. So it's like, okay, well, what do you do? So it was almost a blessing in disguise because I had so many people telling me in a way that you can't do this, you can't do that. I didn't know that was going to be my fuel down the road.
But nowadays, you say you can do that.
You can do that, 100%.
Yeah, so
that's why I'm fucking here. Guy.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? Anybody that's gonna tell you that obviously has doubts in their mind. They have more doubts with themselves.
I mean, that's old school too.
100%.
You know, back in those days too. That old school. That's old school.
But it's not a bad thing. It's just more like someone telling me, "Are you sure?" Like they're not sure.
Yeah.
Or saying like, "Well, how's that gonna work?" They don't know how.
Like, I didn't become a surfer, so you can't do it.
Right.
Because I didn't do it.
Right.
So, yeah.
But if everybody thought like that, like you wouldn't have world champions. You wouldn't have, all these spectacular athletes that do fucking amazing things.
Definitely.
We're heading down the home stretch here. It's the holiday season. Pipes coming up. The eddies coming up.
Definitely.
It's a spectator sport.
Yeah.
You told all these kids, all these guys that you couldn't do that. What are we watching?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's the bottom line. So for me personally, it was becoming original, which I was scared to be. I was afraid that if I created something that was myself, I was afraid that everybody else wasn't going to like it. But in the end...
And that's where it was born.
That's where it was born.
Fishing company.
And I made that brand because when I got into fishing, I was fucking lost. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed that I felt I should have known so much more. But I caught myself because I looked at it as, okay, if I can make it in surfing, if I can be an elite paddler, if I can be elite spearfishing, if I put all my focus into this, I should be able to do this. And then once I started catching fish and I actually started fishing, I realized something, that everything had gotten so fucking expensive and out of control that the one thing in fishing that never changed was the price.
Yeah.
And so there was a business niche that nobody had tapped into. And I told myself that if I can start working with these clients and not saying that you're the best fisherman or you have the best product, just having some form of traceability where Ula Ula's red. Everybody now, all of a sudden, poke's become it's all over the place. Everybody wants poke.
Yep.
The demand for ahi is probably one of the biggest demands around.
Crazy, bro. It's gold.
So we have the best product. We have the best fishermen. We have some of the best locations. I mean, it's a gold mine platform around the island, around the state to be able to for fishermen to utilize that. But nobody was doing it. Everybody was selling to big brokers, big fishing companies.
Yeah.
And I looked at it as I want to work with one restaurant. One. They can have the other 5, 6, 700. I just want to work with one. Start with one. So that was what I did. I started working with Kona Brew because they were already sponsored.
That was the first. That was
my first.
First ever.
And
so Ula Ula, it was a clothing company first.
Ula Ula was a fishing company.
Oh, okay. So,
Right.
but then you started with apparel.
I started merchandising it, and a lot of it came around of the show because we started getting,
So you didn't sell to anybody yet. You did merch first.
No,
it was Kona Brewing.
Yeah.
Kona Brew, and then it was the merch.
Right. The
Sick.
merch actually came out right around all of a sudden because I was wearing stuff on the show. And the guys that we were working with, we all started just wearing Ula Ula. Then all of a sudden, everybody's like, "Oh fuck!"
On the show.
But
Dude,
I had
that is
nothing else to
dope.
wear. I mean, it's like, so if I'm gonna wear something, like I'm not gonna wear like
You know,
I'm not
wear
gonna
your
wear
own.
somebody else's fishing stuff because that would have been like that would have been the dumbest shit in the world.
And that's where it started.
That's
coming
where it
from.
started. So then all of a sudden,
so
like
sick.
the demand was like, wow, like
Marketing strategy.
right
Ah.
in a way. But
Yeah.
like, but to be honest, like we shot ourselves in the foot because we launched it. We weren't ready. We cartwheeled
Too much
backwards.
people.
Right. Then all of a sudden, first year our merchandise demand is huge, our fish demand is huge, and we're sitting here with our thumbs in our ass.
Yeah, like, shit, what do we do? Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it really came down to where I never looked at this brand as being a merchandise brand. And I still don't.
Yeah.
Where anybody that I try to make it, and it's going to sound shitty for me to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like, I try to make it a little bit harder to get our stuff, because I feel that when someone goes on and actually learns about our story with what we're actually doing, and we actually get the order, I know what it took for that person to actually find us.
It's like a puzzle.
It's like a puzzle, because then I know when I actually see somebody wearing my
like,
shit.
Okay, this guy knows the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To where it's like, I'm fucking proud.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
kind of like a Dahui thing.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
We're it's got, like, if you're going to do this, you got to have some type of soul about it. Like, I could have sold out, guy, a long time ago, but I didn't. If anything, it was the opposite. I spent money to get my company back, so that now I own my brand free and clear again, with just me and my wife and my kids. And the only thing I want out of this brand is just to inspire this younger generation to where I'm nothing special. You can look at me, you'd walk right by me on the road, but I'm just trying to do something to where if I can inspire one person around the world, not to buy my shirt, but to come to Hawaii and have an experience with our fish or support local businesses.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's labeling one person, that's all.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to put a story that with this one person like myself, there's an entire culture and heritage behind us. And the only reason I'm at where I'm at is because of all the guys that have helped me get here.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And there's so many guys that want nothing to do with it. But I'm just trying to be a voice. I'm trying to, you know, build something for the guys like that do want to have it, you know?
Definitely. That's awesome, bro. I wanted to tell you something, because knowing that you're a pro longboarder, this is a funny story. A lot of people don't know this about me, but my whole family comes from a background of pro bodyboarders.
Okay.
I
saw your last video. It was fucking genius, by the way.
The So Stoked
I
Boogie
missed
series.
the first minute after that when you walked up and yanked the kid's mullet. I just about fucking died.
Oh, how's that mullet?
How's that mullet? Oh my god.
Yeah, so my family's been in the bodyboarding industry since I was a little kid, man. My grandma was the owner of HABA, which is the Hawaii Bodyboarders Association.
No way.
In Kauai. We used to live in Kauai. I used to live in Kalaheo.
Okay.
I used to go Kalaheo Elementary. Went to Chiefus. A lot of people don't know that too. I used to live in Kauai. But I was a prodigy of bodyboarding. My uncles, the Cooper brothers. I don't know if you heard of the Cooper brothers before.
I have.
My uncles are the Cooper brothers.
No kidding.
So my mom is a Cooper. Her maiden name is Saldana, but she's a Cooper because my grandma and then her brothers, her stepbrothers, are the Cooper brothers, Paul, Jesse, Richard. Mm-hmm. So those are my uncles. So they all went pro, sponsored by Maury when Maury was big back then.
Right.
You know, all those big names. Viper was a big thing. So it was crazy because my grandma did not give a shit about school.
Yeah.
Like she didn't want, like I would go to school. I like going to school because it's just, I'm a social person, as you can tell. But after school, she'd pick me up, and not like a lot of grandparents or parents are like, hey, you got to do your homework before you go, you know, wherever, play or anything like that. No, fuck that. My grandma took me straight to the beach, bro.
You know, that's a cool ass grandma.
Yeah, totally. But I missed a lot of schoolwork because I didn't. I mean, not like it matters now. I'm not in college or anything like that. But I graduated with a pretty high GPA though.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the main thing.
But yeah, so she tried to turn me into this pro bodyboard, and I was on the way to it, and then I just figured it wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. You know, it wasn't for me. And then I got into water photography, bro. Yeah. I got into photography, doing photography, like wave photography, like Clark Little shit.
Right.
I got into that because I cannot leave the water, bro. It's hard.
Right.
It's hard for me to leave the water. So I went on a different route, and I did that. And then it just went into just regular photography after that. John Mosel, you know John Mosel, the one that he passed away. Yep. So he was like he was kind of like my father that I never had.
Like your mentor.
My mentor, yeah. So he was into photography, and I got into photography with that as well. And I think my grandpa was in photography too. My grandpa was doing photography since he was little, and I just
I mean, all this that we're doing right now, it's
just like yeah, it's
in your blood.
Yeah, it's
you know
crazy.
I mean? It's like there's things that you can't force it. It's natural, and that's that's the most unreal thing about watching you is like like you're natural on the camera.
And I don't even realize
You
that it
don't.
just comes.
It just comes.
Yeah.
But it's like that was fuck it. I'm gonna ask you the question now.
Okay.
Because you're already on the
That's
topic.
totally fine. Yeah,
so
we're
like,
good.
I have to ask it.
Yeah.
Because your content is brilliant. And if people don't know that, like they should know that because you put yourself out there.
Thank you.
You're putting yourself in a state of mind. How did you come up with Brother Jeffrey?
Oh, bro.
This is a 2-part question. That's the first part.
Okay, first question. Okay. Do you want to ask the second one?
I wanna
Or?
ask the
Okay,
second
okay,
one 'cause
okay.
You're
Go
gonna
ahead.
throw it all together because I think it's gonna be a long story.
Totally.
So I want
Okay.
to hear it.
Yeah,
So
I'm ready for it.
how did you become like? Where did Brother Jeffrey originate from?
Okay.
And do you live? Is there a part of you that lives through Brother Jeffrey? Because that's a way for you to kind of reveal who deep down you really are.
Sorry, I'm laughing. That's a good question, bro. That's a good question. Okay, so first, let me answer where did Brother Jeffrey come from. Oh man, so I've always been a videogenic, photogenic person ever since I was a little kid. There's videos of me doing like performances on my auntie's pool back in California, and a lot of stuff that I see in my son right now is stuff that I was.
Right.
I was just this obnoxious little irritating kid that just full of energy, bro. ADHD for sure. just full of energy, just a ball of energy. And Brother Jeffrey came about when Vine was created.
Okay.
So Vine was kind of like one of the first video platforms of social media.
Yeah, it was like that, like Snapchat.
It was like it was 6 seconds though.
It was 6. Yeah,
6 seconds. So Instagram didn't come out with video yet, but Vine had 6-second videos. And what you would do is, you create this banger video in 6 seconds.
Right.
That has just punchline. It's just a punchline. Because what a good video is, what a good comedian does, right, is hit punchlines, right? So like now it's harder because videos are longer, so you're like, okay, where's the punchline at the end?
Right.
But Vine was just punchline right at the beginning because it's only 6 seconds, right?
Right.
So Brother Jeffrey was created, he had straight eyes before. It was just straight. It was straight eyes. I was actually driving down a road in Wahiwa, and there's this guy, and he was on the side of the road, and he was asking for money. And I remember, I remember it's just kind of like, oh, like borrow $1 kind of like, kind of like Alex Farnham kind of style.
Yeah.
And that's where Brother Jeffrey came from. It was the first name that popped in my mind. It was like, okay, Brother Jeffrey. I don't know, Brother Jeffrey.
Yeah.
And it just, I popped it up on Vine, and people loved it. Just like my friends. I only had friends following me, right?
Yeah.
And I was just making short videos without the eye.
Yeah.
And then, like, one of my friends like, bro, you gotta do something that like makes it super unique because like you're talking local, but everybody can talk local.
Right.
And I was like, bro, I remember this thing that my dad taught me when I was younger, and it was kind of like chameleon eyes. So it's kind of like this, like that. You see that? It's like chameleon eyes, bro. And I learned that when I was.
You could do it with both eyes.
I can try. Wait. Something, yeah, I think you can do it.
But when you're in character, it doesn't like you can do it with either eye.
Yeah, totally.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's
totally.
like he's in there somewhere, bro. Like,
yeah, it's kind of creepy, bro.
It's like an alter ego.
Yeah.
It's like somebody that lives.
And my wife told me that it should never come out when we're having sex. She always tells me, bro, if he comes out, I swear to God.
I mean, there's a first time for everything, bro, you know?
Yeah, so that's where Brother Jeffrey was created. Then Instagram came out, and I was like, hey, now we have 15-second videos. I'm a punchline kind of person. How the fuck are we going to do this now?
Right.
So I just created punchlines throughout the whole video instead of just at the end. It was just punchline, 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 punchline. So a lot of my videos that I do, I'm saying shit, and a lot of people will like pass it on, but it's stuff, small stuff,
right?
Like the mullet thing,
right?
That's a banger right there.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, how's this fucking mullet?
I know, but like to put that into, because again, like what you're doing is like you're making reels, you're making content, but it's entertaining the whole time.
Yeah,
so totally. like social media is a business. We all know that.
Oh, big time.
You know, so there's monetization, there's branding, there's influencing, there's all these ways that you can make it as like on social media. I'm not into any of that, by the way, just letting you guys know.
Yeah,
but
Instagram fucked me over. I did one video and I can't get paid on Instagram.
I lost my check mark a couple times, but we won't get into that. That's for other stories.
Oh shit!
Fuck.
Let's keep that off the camera.
It's all right.
No,
I don't give a fuck at this point. But what I'm getting at with you is that it's really hard to start a video and keep somebody interested the whole time.
There has to be punchlines, bro.
And not only that, like you're doing it to where like you're marketing brands.
Definitely.
Like you're doing so you're actually doing advertisement. To whereas when was the last time you actually sat there and watched a 30-second to a 1 minute commercial?
Right.
Never.
Never.
Oh, commercial break. Oh, go get beer. Or gotta go bathroom. Or
yeah,
you know, like that's what you're running a lot. So to sit down and be entertained the whole entire time.
You gotta pull. What it is you lose people, bro. There's a lot of, I'm not gonna mention any names, but there's a lot of comedians out there that have really good videos, man. Really good videos. Yeah. But it just is like, after a while, it's just like, oh, what?
Yeah.
What? Like, where are we going with this? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like 5-minute videos. Like, okay, if you're gonna have a 5-minute video, you gotta have fucking bangers throughout the whole 5-minute video.
Totally.
You have to have a punchline that's at the end, but everything in between has to be as good as that punchline at the end.
Right. And that's where it comes into, again, like that was why like I really wanted to do this with you, because what you're doing, it really is, I can't believe that there's not more people that do it. And the reason is because it's hard. Dude, it's impossible.
It is.
It's borderline.
Dude, I don't even know what the fuck podcasting is, bro.
I don't know either. That's why I'm sitting here like, what the fuck are we supposed to talk about? I've done these before, and like this is cool because in a way, we've never met in person.
Never.
But
this is the
I
first
feel
time.
like I know you really good because I watch all your shit.
Yeah.
Because it's good. It's entertaining to where like I don't follow a lot of people because it's easy to get lost.
Definitely.
In it, where, you know what I mean? And then you get that stupid, you know, oh shit, bro, you know, you've been looking at social media, you know, your screen time's up this week. You know,
fuck, I get that all the time.
You know?
Damn it.
But when was the last time you watched an influencer and you just came back to where I go on every day to see if you put something out?
Definitely.
And I think that a lot of people that follow you are the same way.
Yeah.
To where like that's a total different way of being a comedian.
Yeah.
You're not doing a 45 or a 1 hour set that's been practiced.
Fuck, I've never done
you know what I mean?
stand
so
up.
It's like this. It's just ad lib, go out, put the fucking mic on and just, let's go have fun.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so many people that are afraid to do that.
Yeah, totally.
On this platform because of, you know, comments and all the bullshit that comes with it, where it's
you just
like,
gotta not give a fuck, bro.
Exactly.
That's all.
That's what it is.
That's all.
So it's like when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter how big of a following you have. It doesn't matter what feeds underneath you. If you enjoy doing something that you love, do it, because what you're doing is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Appreciate how you can just go in the character like that. It's entertaining. It's crazy. And I wish more people did it, because it's a way that it's laughter, bro. We fucking need that in our
definitely
we need it in our lives. Definitely. That's who we are, you know. So keep going, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. And I want to touch on that too. Like, I've been doing this for a while, man. And Brother Jeffrey is just this raunchy ass character. That's what it is. That's what I mean. What from the beginning, before it used to be more raunchy than it is now. Yeah, like, used to talk about a whole bunch of shit that shouldn't be talked about on Instagram anymore. But I didn't want to take the swearing away. Like, it was like, no matter what kind of person I am personally in my life, church, whatever, I go to church, stuff like that, you know. And a lot of people are like, oh, you're not ashamed to go to church, and then you stay on Instagram swearing it up. Like, bro, it's comedy, bro. Comedy has no limits. Yeah. Comedy has no limits, you know? And that's just who Brother Jeffrey is. He swears, he does all that kind of stuff. And now when I do promotions for companies and stuff like that, I ask them, I'm like, hey, how do you want to approach this? Right. Because I can do it in a professional, funny way, or I can do it in like swearing everything. Like, bro, do the swearing, bro. That's how Brother Jeffrey is. Like, and I'm like, okay, people love it, bro. That's how we just gotta keep that character as you know, going as it is. Now to answer the second question about living through Brother Jeffrey. Ooh, man, you know what? I got lost in it, bro. I got lost in Brother Jeffrey. Before I met my wife, you know, when I was into music, I let the fame get to my head straight up, bro. And I think there's a lot of comedians out there nowadays that let fame get to their head. And from a person that's been through it hands on, bro, you know, because social media wasn't a big thing when we all started. And for me to boom like I did back then, it was kind of like a celebrity status. I'm not saying like freaking Kanye West or anything like that,
No,
but
I mean,
as a celebrity in Hawaii,
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, like, I mean, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it in a sense where because everybody loves your shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can relate to it in a sense where like you're not famous, people appreciate you.
Yeah.
You're gonna have your haters, you're gonna have people that don't like what you do, but majority of the people that watch your shit are fucking entertaining. They're
Definitely.
stoked on what you're doing.
Definitely.
You know?
So the attention is what got me, bro. I love the attention. I loved the attention. Nowadays, I still love the attention, bro. I love the positivity that I put in people's lives. And my friend, you know, we were in Vegas a couple weeks ago, and my friend kind of tapped into me, bro. And he my friend Matt, Matty Smokes on YouTube, check him out. Anyway, he kind of just was like talking to me and asking me, like, because he cruised with me for a couple days,
Right.
and people were coming up to me in Vegas and like, oh wait, like all stoked and stuff like that. But he noticed that it's like I'm there, like I'll say, oh, what's up, everything like that, but he noticed that like I'm not as stoked as I was before.
Interesting. Why?
And the reason is, and it's not anything against any of my fans or followers like that. It's just I think there's a right time for it, and I guess in that time when we were in Vegas, I just was trying to kind of enjoy me, my wife, and my friend just having fun. But I'm not rude, bro. I won't ever tell anybody, no, I'm not gonna take a picture with you or anything like that. I'll totally. I think it's just I don't want to be famous.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a person that I just
It's
feel like I'm not that person anymore. It's different. This Brother Jeffrey now is totally different than the Brother Jeffrey from before. It's totally different. I love making people.
Maybe like, you know, like you found.
I can't explain it.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and I'm not just saying that because I'm sitting across from you. Like I understand what you're saying in a sense because I can relate to it because you've got this person where anybody can call Brother Jeffrey like whatever he is.
Yeah.
But like for you personally, it's you've kind of found the direction, the vision of what you want with him, but you can turn it off. It's other people that can.
Definitely.
When they see you, they it's like because they're so fascinated by, oh, bro, you know, hey, do the thing, you know, and you're like, fuck, bro, like, I don't.
But what I have to understand is, a lot of these guys that are super stoked, I've changed their life in 100%. Some type of way, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to understand that because when it happens in person, it's I don't realize that, you know. But there's a lot of people. I get messages, bro, daily that there's a lot of people out there that have, been depressed or, you know, like parents passed away or other has passed away and like look forward to just having a little 1 minute laugh, 2 minute laugh by watching my videos, you know? And that's what trips me out.
Yeah.
That's what trips me out. That hits me hard.
Do you think
know?
like when you first did this like years ago, do you think that like you were mentally prepared to like be
I was not.
Right.
I wasn't ready.
Right.
I wasn't ready.
But
I looked at it as a fast fame thing.
It's crazy now too because like however long you've been doing this now and you know by the sounds of it, by the looks of it, it's like doesn't look like you're slowing down and you're stopping.
No, not at all.
Like,
and if it does, I'm already jumping on the next thing. Look at this podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was asked to be I was asked to be a radio DJ for a radio station because people thought that I've done radio before, and I have never done radio before. This is the first thing that ever comes close to being on radio is, you know, 2 cameras, 2 microphones like this, and I've never even touched anything like this before. But when I got it and I set it up and I start talking, it just came natural. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is crazy. And I love doing this, dude. I love talking to people. I love, like talking to you, talking to Moko on episode 1. It's just a thing that I love to do. You know, we're not making money off of this or anything like that. But I think, like you said, I think Hawaii is so untapped still in this kind of platform that I wanted to jump on it before, because dude, I see this thing on Instagram all the time, like people podcasts like this, and there's like millions of follows and millions of likes, and like imagine us talking about Hawaii the way that we're talking about, and millions of people hearing it.
And it's funny you say that because half the podcasts I watch or I listen to are bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even good.
Skidded shit, dude.
Skidded shit. You're listening to somebody that's talking about, like being in the limelight in LA or being in the limelight somewhere and because they're famous, but it's like the skill set of what they're doing. It's like there's so much here to where, to me, like, going back to the small run that I had, that was the most gratifying thing about what I did was the amount of people on a world level platform appreciated that they didn't know we fucking existed.
Yeah.
That bothered me.
Yeah.
It was almost like, oh wait, shit.
We're just Lost Islands.
So it's Hawaii, but like there's still Hawaiians there? Like there's still people there?
What?
Like for real. Like in a weird sense.
That is pretty nuts.
Like it's crazy. Like when you come here, like what do you expect? The only way people are gonna be educated when they come into our home is by us, you know, putting messages out there like this in a way for them to watch it so that when they do come here, like they know.
Definitely.
You know? Like that's the only way that I can put it. You know, awesome. And I hope it motivates more people to come and, you know, sit in this chair and sit down with you because it's, you know, it's a cool thing.
Hell yeah, dude.
Bro.
Hell yeah.
You know?
I can't wait to see the future with this thing, bro. And I want to thank you so much for...
Sky's the limit, bro.
Thank you so much for sponsoring the podcast. And, you know,
easy.
Big shout out to all our sponsors again, Nick, Ani Construction, Ula Fishing Company, Tigers Towing out in Oahu, Ola Brew Company, and Honors Brand. Thank you guys so much. We're not, you know, we wouldn't be here without you guys and you, bro. Thank you so much for believing in me and just jumping on this podcast. Driving all the way from Kona over here, bro.
Fucking closer than Alaska.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, and way more.
I gotta come Hilo. Oh, that's easy.
Oh, easy, that's bro. Easy. Oh, once again, ladies and gentlemen, brother Jeff Silva on the podcast. Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for being there, bro. All right.